Have you ever felt an unexplainable pull towards a particular animal? A creature that seems to appear in your life at the most meaningful moments, in dreams, stories, or strange, synchronistic encounters? Most of us think we choose our spirit animal. We take quizzes, read lists, and decide we're a wolf, or an eagle, or a fox. But what if that's only half the story? What if the great psychologist Carl Jung was onto something, and that animal has actually been emerging from the depths of your unconscious to meet you? Today, we're exploring how these animal symbols are more than just guides, they're keys to unlocking the most powerful and instinctual parts of your psyche. This isn't about a simple affinity for a creature you find beautiful or strong. This is about a summons from the oldest part of yourself. An invitation to wholeness, delivered by a messenger who speaks a language older than words. So, how could an animal possibly emerge to meet us? To get our heads around that, we need to journey into one of Carl Jung's most revolutionary ideas, the collective unconscious. Imagine your mind is an iceberg. The tiny tip above the water is your conscious mind, your thoughts, your daily awareness, the person you think you are. Just below the surface lies your personal unconscious, holding your private memories and experiences. But deeper still, forming the vast, hidden base of that iceberg, is the collective unconscious. This isn't just your stuff. Jung proposed this as a shared reservoir of psychic blueprints inherited by all of us, a foundational layer of what it means to be human. It contains the raw material of all human experience, our deepest instincts, our shared fears, and the universal patterns that have shaped us since the dawn of time. Jung called these patterns archetypes. Think of the mother, the hero, or the trickster. We recognize these figures instantly in myths and stories from every corner of the globe because, in a way, they're already inside us. And within this primordial, inner wilderness, one of the most potent archetypes is the animal. Jung believed our connection to these archetypes goes back through human history and even to our animal ancestors, which is why we can form such powerful bonds with them. In our modern lives, it's easy to feel cut off from our instincts. We rationalize, we plan, we shove our gut feelings into a corner. But the animal within us never truly disappears, it lives on in the collective unconscious. In this context, animals are not just biological creatures, they're living symbols of the raw, untamed forces of nature and our own minds. They represent our instinctual life, our primal energies, and a kind of wisdom our conscious ego has forgotten. Jung noted that animals are superior to us in one crucial way: they live exactly as they were meant to live. They fulfill their destiny without second-guessing it, embodying a kind of natural integrity. When we've strayed too far from our own true nature, the psyche will often send a messenger to guide us back. And very often, that messenger arrives in the form of an animal. This communication often happens through what Jung called big dreams, dreams that feel profound, vivid, and mythic, distinct from the little dreams that just rehash our daily anxieties. In these big dreams, an animal might show up not as a random character, but as a central figure radiating a strange sense of importance. These dreams are messages from the deepest layer of the psyche, the self, the regulating core of our being, and animals can be powerful symbols that point us toward our own wholeness. And here we get to the heart of it. The popular idea of a spirit animal, a term Jung himself didn't use, often frames it as a conscious choice. We pick the lion because we want to be brave. We choose the owl because we value wisdom. But from a Jungian perspective, that's getting it backward. The true animal guide isn't chosen, it appears. It emerges from the unconscious to hold up a mirror. That animal that keeps showing up in your life, the one you dream about, see in unexpected places, or feel that weird kinship with, is a symbol of an energy you need to integrate. It makes itself known because it embodies a quality or instinct that you've neglected, suppressed, or that is ready to be born into your conscious life. Its appearance is a form of synchronicity, one of Jung's most famous concepts, describing a meaningful coincidence where your inner world and the outer world mysteriously align. It's not just a random fox crossing your path, it's the archetype of the fox appearing just as you were talking about a dream of a fox, as happened to one of Jung's own patients. The animal symbol behaves as if it's a partner in your story, recognizing an archetypal energy in you that you may not even see in yourself. To make this more concrete, let's explore a few powerful animal archetypes and what their appearance might mean. As we go through these, ask yourself not which one you like, but which one has been making its presence known. First, the snake. Feared by many, the snake is one of the most universal symbols of transformation, healing, and renewal. Because it sheds its skin, it represents the death of the old you and the birth of a larger personality. Its venom, while dangerous, can also be the medicine your soul needs to grow. If the snake shows up, your psyche might be calling you to shed a part of yourself that no longer fits, to embrace a deep change, or to connect with the healing energies of the earth in your own body. Next, the owl. The owl sees in the dark. As an archetype, it represents wisdom, deep perception, and the ability to navigate the unconscious. While others are blind, the owl has insight. Its appearance may signal you're developing a new awareness, perhaps even intuitive abilities. It's an invitation to look deeper and trust what you see when others see nothing. When the owl appears, you are being asked to seek hidden truths. Then there's the lion. The lion is a classic symbol of strength, courage, and majestic power. But it's not just about brute force. Archetypally, the lion can represent the healthy, integrated assertion of your personality, the capacity to lead your own life with confidence. When the lion archetype emerges, it might be a call to step into your power, stop being passive, and courageously claim your own territory, whether that's in your career, your relationships, or your inner world. Let's also consider the wolf. The wolf represents a powerful duality. On one hand, it symbolizes fierce instinct, intelligence, and deep loyalty to the pack, or community. It reminds us of our social nature and the strength we find in connection. On the other hand, the wolf can represent our untamed, primal shadow side, the wildness we fear in ourselves. If the wolf is your messenger, you may be called to examine your relationship with your instincts and your community. Are you too domesticated? Or do you need to temper your wildness with connection? Finally, an often overlooked but potent guide, the ant. While not as glamorous as a lion, some modern Jungian thinkers point to the ant as a powerful archetype. The ant's strength lies not in itself, but in the colony. If you dream of ants, your psyche may be pointing to the power of community, diligent work, and your role in a collective effort. Its shadow side, however, is the loss of individuality, of becoming just another face in the crowd. The ant asks, where do you find your strength, alone, or with others? So, how do you discover which animal symbol is speaking to you and what it wants to say? This isn't a passive process. It requires attention and a bit of reverence. First and most important, dream journaling. Keep a notebook by your bed. When you wake up, write down any animals that appeared, no matter how insignificant they seem. Before rushing to a symbol dictionary, first reflect on your own personal associations with that animal. What does it mean to you? Then, you can amplify that understanding with its mythological and biological roles. Second, pay attention to synchronicities. Notice the animals you encounter in your waking life. A particular bird that always sings outside your window, a spider that builds a web in a meaningful place, an animal that appears on TV just after you were thinking about a major life problem. These aren't just random events, they can be seen as whispers from the unconscious. Finally, you can engage in what Jung called active imagination. This is a form of deep reflection where you invite the animal from your dream or synchronicity into your mind's eye and begin a dialogue with it. Ask it why it's here. Ask it what it has to teach you. The goal isn't to worship the animal, but to enter a dialogue with a part of yourself, recognizing that you are a part of the natural world, not separate from it. If this exploration of the psyche speaks to you, consider subscribing for more journeys into psychology and self-discovery. And I'm genuinely curious, what animal has been making its presence known in your life? Share your experience in the comments below. Your story might be the synchronicity someone else needs to see today. The animals that call to us from the depths of the collective unconscious are more than just symbols. They are fragments of our own lost instinct and forgotten wisdom. They are living archetypes that emerge to guide us back to a state of wholeness. To be fully human, Jung believed, we have to be in relationship with the animal, both the creatures of the outer world and the instinctual animal within our own psyche. This connection reminds us that despite our concrete cities and digital lives, we are still part of the great, ancient web of life. We still have a 2 million-year-old person within us. So the next time you feel that pull towards an animal, don't just see it as a passing interest. See it as an invitation. A sacred summons from the oldest part of yourself, calling you back home.